Our great land, Bharat, has a history filled with countless heroes. Many are celebrated in our books and songs. Their stories inspire us every day. But there are also many heroes whose names are not widely known. These are the Gumnam Yodha, the unsung warriors. They worked silently for Dharma and for the nation. Their sacrifices were immense. Their courage was unwavering. Pandit Ruchiram was one such hidden gem, a true son of Mother India. His life was a saga of bravery, dedication, and selfless service to humanity and the motherland. We must make an effort to learn about these forgotten champions. Their tales are like hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Knowing about them fills our hearts with pride. It teaches us the true meaning of patriotism. Pandit Ruchiram's story is one that needs to be told, heard, and remembered. He was a steadfast follower of the Arya Samaj. He dedicated his entire being to its noble principles. He faced grave dangers without a flicker of fear. His life shows us how one person with strong conviction can make a huge difference. Pandit Ruchiram did not seek fame or fortune. His only aim was to serve. He served the cause of truth. He served the cause of justice. He served the cause of Vedic Dharma. He worked in the shadows, not for applause, but for the upliftment of society. He believed in action, not just words. His actions spoke louder than any speech. He was a true karma yogi. He understood that true service lies in uplifting the weak and protecting the vulnerable. This understanding shaped his entire life's journey. Today, as we navigate the complexities of our times, the lives of heroes like Pandit Ruchiram offer us guidance. They show us the importance of standing firm on our principles. They teach us to be fearless in the face of adversity. They remind us that the nation is built on the sacrifices of such noble souls. Let us delve into the inspiring life of this remarkable yet largely unknown warrior of the Arya Samaj. Let his story ignite a similar fire of dedication in our own hearts, for the glory of our culture and our nation. Pandit Ruchiram was born in a time when Bharat was facing many challenges. Foreign rule had weakened the spirit of the people. Many ancient traditions were being questioned or forgotten. He was born in a humble family, likely in a small village in North India. From a young age, he showed signs of a thoughtful and courageous nature. He was keen to learn and understand the world around him. His early education, though perhaps modest, instilled in him a love for knowledge and a respect for his culture. He saw the state of his countrymen and felt a deep urge to do something. The social and religious environment of his youth was undergoing a significant churn. There were many outdated customs and superstitions that troubled him. He saw divisions in society that pained his heart. He yearned for a path that was rational, just, and rooted in true Vedic wisdom. It was during this period of seeking that he encountered the teachings of Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. The powerful message of the Arya Samaj resonated deeply within him. It was like a guiding light showing him the way forward. The call to Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam, to make the entire world noble, became his life's mission. The Arya Samaj, founded by Maharishi Dayanand, was a powerful reform movement. It called for a return to the pristine teachings of the Vedas. It advocated for the removal of idol worship, caste discrimination, child marriage, and other social evils. It emphasized education for all, including women. It promoted Swadeshi and self-reliance. These principles became the bedrock of Pandit Ruchiram's beliefs. He saw in the Arya Samaj a powerful tool for the regeneration of Indian society and the awakening of national pride. The fearless spirit of Maharishi Dayanand himself became a profound source of inspiration for young Ruchiram. He immersed himself in the study of Vedic scriptures and the writings of Arya Samaj leaders. He understood that true religion was about righteousness, duty, and service to humanity. This was not a passive faith, but an active engagement with the world to make it better. His heart was filled with a burning desire to contribute to this noble cause. The inspiration he drew from Maharishi Dayanand and the Arya Samaj prepared him for the arduous tasks that lay ahead. He was ready to dedicate his life to these ideals, no matter the personal cost. The Arya Samaj was more than just a religious organization for Pandit Ruchiram. It was a revolutionary movement that aimed to transform individuals and society. Its call for truth, reason, and Vedic wisdom was a powerful antidote to the prevailing ignorance and superstition. Pandit Ruchiram embraced its principles wholeheartedly. He understood that the Vedas were not just ancient texts, but a source of timeless knowledge. This knowledge could guide humanity towards a life of righteousness and progress. He saw the potential of Arya Samaj to unite the fragmented Indian society. One of the core tenets that deeply influenced him was the concept of one formless God. This rejected the prevalent polytheism and idol worship, which Arya Samaj viewed as later corruptions. This rational approach to spirituality appealed to his intellect. He also strongly believed in the Arya Samaj's stand against the rigid caste system based on birth. The idea that a person's worth is determined by their actions, karma, and not their lineage was a liberating one. He actively worked to promote social equality and eradicate untouchability, facing opposition bravely. The emphasis on education by the Arya Samaj was another crucial aspect that Pandit Ruchiram championed. He knew that ignorance was the root cause of many problems. Spreading education, especially Vedic education and modern knowledge, was key to empowering the masses. He supported the establishment of gurukuls and schools that followed these ideals. He believed in the empowerment of women, advocating for their education and rights, which was a radical idea for his time. He saw women as equal partners in building a strong nation and a just society. Maharishi Dayanand's call for Swarajya, self-rule, also resonated strongly with Pandit Ruchiram. He understood that political freedom was essential for the cultural and spiritual regeneration of India. The Arya Samaj instilled in him a deep sense of patriotism and a willingness to sacrifice for the motherland. He was not just a religious preacher. He was a nation builder in spirit and action. His commitment to Arya Samaj was a commitment to a resurgent India, strong, united and enlightened, standing tall on the foundation of Vedic ideals. Life often tests the brave, and Pandit Ruchiram faced many such trials. One of the most notable stories of his courage involves the abduction of a helpless widow and her young daughters. This incident occurred in a region where lawlessness was rampant. Miscreants, emboldened by a weak administration, often preyed on the vulnerable. This poor widow, having lost her husband, was an easy target. One dark night, a group of ruffians forcibly entered her home. They dragged her and her terrified daughters away, intending to exploit them or sell them into a life of misery. The news of this heinous act eventually reached the local Arya Samaj workers. They were deeply distressed but felt powerless against the well-armed and ruthless gang. The local authorities were either indifferent or too scared to act. Despair began to set in. Who would dare to confront these dangerous criminals? Who would risk their life for a poor, unknown widow and her children? It was a situation that demanded extraordinary courage and unwavering resolve. The community was looking for a hero, someone to stand up against this injustice. It was at this critical juncture that Pandit Ruchiram learned of the family's plight. His heart was filled with righteous anger and profound compassion. He could not stand by idly while such an atrocity was committed. For him, protecting the honor of women and ensuring the safety of the weak was a sacred duty, a core principle of his Arya Samaj faith. He knew the risks involved. He knew he might have to face death. But the thought of those innocent lives in peril outweighed any concern for his own safety. Without hesitation, Pandit Ruchiram decided to act. He tried to rally support, but many were fearful. He realized that he might have to undertake this perilous mission almost single-handedly, or with very few trusted companions. The local community looked upon him with a mixture of hope and trepidation. They admired his bravery but feared for his life. The air was thick with tension as he began to make his preparations. The fate of the abducted mother and her daughters now rested on his shoulders and his indomitable spirit. Section 5. Valor in Action. The Daring Rescue Mission. Pandit Ruchiram was not a man to be deterred by fear. He gathered what little information he could about the kidnappers and their possible hideout. He knew that time was of the essence. Every passing moment increased the danger for the abducted family. With a small band of trusted and equally brave companions, or perhaps even alone, he set out on the dangerous trail. He armed himself not just with basic weapons for self-defense, but more importantly, with unwavering faith in God and the righteousness of his cause. His mind was sharp and his resolve was like steel. The pursuit was fraught with peril. The kidnappers were notorious and ruthless. They were likely operating in terrain they knew well. Pandit Ruchiram and his team had to be cautious, moving stealthily, often under the cover of darkness. They faced harsh weather, difficult paths, and the constant threat of ambush. Yet his determination did not waver. He was driven by the image of the terrified mother and her daughters. He prayed for their safety and for the strength to overcome the evil he was confronting. His courage inspired those with him, if any, to keep moving forward despite the odds. Finally, after a relentless search, they located the hideout of the criminals. It was a secluded place, well guarded. A direct assault would have been suicidal. Pandit Ruchiram used his intelligence and presence of mind to devise a plan. Perhaps he created a diversion or waited for an opportune moment when the guards were lax. The details of the actual confrontation may vary in tellings, but the outcome was a testament to his bravery. He confronted the criminals fearlessly, his voice ringing with the authority of Dharma. He challenged their wicked deeds and demanded the release of the captives. In the ensuing struggle, Pandit Ruchiram displayed remarkable valor. He fought like a lion, protecting the innocent. The criminals, taken aback by his audacity and the ferocity of his unexpected attack, were eventually overpowered or forced to flee. He successfully rescued the widow and her daughters from their clutches. He brought them back to safety, restoring their dignity and hope. This act of incredible bravery became a local legend. It showed everyone that even one determined individual, driven by righteousness, could stand up to evil and triumph. His fame as a protector of the weak spread, inspiring many. Section 6. 7 Years in Arabia, a journey of faith and hardship. Pandit Ruchiram's zeal for spreading the message of Vedic Dharma was not confined to the borders of India. His commitment led him on an incredibly arduous journey to Arabia. For 7 long years, he lived in a land that was culturally and religiously very different from his own. This was not a journey undertaken for personal gain or adventure. It was a mission driven by his deep conviction in the universal truths of the Vedas. He believed that the light of Vedic knowledge was for all humanity, and he was prepared to face any hardship to share it. Life in Arabia during that period was extremely challenging for a preacher of a different faith. The environment was often hostile. The climate was harsh and resources were scarce. He faced suspicion, ridicule, and perhaps even direct threats to his life. Yet Pandit Ruchiram remained steadfast. He learned the local language and customs to better communicate with the people. He lived a simple, ascetic life, embodying the principles he preached. His resilience in the face of such adversity was truly remarkable. He must have felt isolated many times, far from his homeland and his support system. His primary aim was to engage in constructive dialogue, to explain the rational and scientific aspects of Vedic philosophy. He spoke about the concept of one formless Ishvara, the importance of righteous conduct, Dharma, and the eternal laws of karma and reincarnation. He focused on the universal values of truth, non-violence, and compassion that are central to Vedic teachings. He did not seek to convert through force or inducement, but through reason and sincere discussion. He respected the local people even when they did not agree with him, showing great patience and understanding. These 7 years were a period of intense struggle and perseverance. He had to find ways to sustain himself, perhaps by undertaking humble work while continuing his mission. He would have encountered moments of deep despair, but his unwavering faith in the Vedic path and the blessings of Maharishi Dayanand kept him going. This extended period of service in a foreign, often unwelcoming land highlights his extraordinary dedication. It shows the depth of his commitment to Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam, making the world noble, one individual, one dialogue at a time, even in the most difficult circumstances. Section 7. Spreading the Vedic light. The Shuddhi movement in foreign lands. During his 7 challenging years in Arabia, Pandit Ruchiram also dedicated himself to the Shuddhi movement. The Shuddhi movement, an important initiative of the Arya Samaj, aimed to bring back individuals to the Vedic fold who had converted to other religions, often under duress, coercion, or due to social pressures. It was also about welcoming those who, by their own conviction, wished to embrace the Vedic way of life. This was a courageous and often controversial undertaking, especially in a land like Arabia, where the dominant religion was deeply entrenched and conversions away from it were not tolerated. Pandit Ruchiram approached this sensitive task with great care and conviction. He sought out individuals who had ancestral roots in Bharat, or who felt an inner calling towards Vedic principles. He would engage them in gentle conversations, explaining the core tenets of Vedic Dharma, its rationality, its emphasis on direct connection with the divine, and its inclusive nature. He would clear their doubts and misconceptions about their ancestral faith. He presented the Vedic path not as a dogma, but as a way of life based on eternal truths and righteous living. His sincerity and deep knowledge were often persuasive. The process of Shuddhi was not merely a ritualistic conversion. It was about a change of heart and understanding. Pandit Ruchiram would have guided these individuals in understanding Vedic scriptures, prayers, and practices. He would have emphasized the importance of moral conduct, self-study, svadhyaya, and service to humanity. He worked to remove any fear or social stigma associated with returning to their ancestral roots. He offered them a community and a sense of belonging within the broader Vedic family. This work required immense patience, empathy, and courage, as it could easily provoke strong opposition. His efforts in the Shuddhi movement in Arabia, though perhaps small in scale given the circumstances, were highly significant. They demonstrated the universal appeal of Vedic teachings and the Arya Samaj's commitment to its followers, wherever they might be. It showed that faith was a matter of personal conviction, and that individuals had the right to choose their spiritual path. Pandit Ruchiram's work in this domain, under such challenging conditions, underscores his unwavering commitment to his principles and his deep compassion for those seeking spiritual solace and a return to their heritage. He was truly a beacon of Vedic light in a distant land. Section 8. A silent guardian, service to the nation in Kashmir and Hyderabad. Pandit Ruchiram's service to Bharat extended beyond religious and social reform. His deep patriotism and sharp intellect made him a valuable asset in other critical areas, particularly in the delicate matters of national unity and integrity. He played a significant, albeit yet often unacknowledged, role as a kind of silent guardian or observer in sensitive regions like Kashmir and Hyderabad. These were times when these princely states were at a crossroads, and their integration into the newly independent India was of paramount importance. His work here was often undercover, demanding immense discretion and bravery. In Kashmir, the situation was complex and fraught with external interference. Pandit Ruchiram, with his deep understanding of people and his ability to blend in, likely worked to counter anti-India propaganda. He would have strived to strengthen the bonds of unity between Kashmir and the rest of India. He may have gathered crucial information about elements working against national interests. His commitment to the Arya Samaj's ideal of a strong, united Akhand Bharat, undivided India, would have fueled his actions. He worked tirelessly, often at great personal risk, to ensure that the forces of separatism and division did not succeed. Similarly, in Hyderabad, which was then under the Nizam's rule and contemplating an independent status or even accession to Pakistan, Pandit Ruchiram's contributions were vital. He would have worked with nationalist forces within Hyderabad. He helped to foster a sense of Indian identity among the populace. He likely played a role in monitoring the activities of extremist groups like the Razakars. His presence and activities, though perhaps not widely publicized, were aimed at supporting the peaceful integration of Hyderabad into the Indian Union. He understood that the unity of India was sacrosanct. These roles, often operating in the shadows, required a different kind of courage than open preaching or social reform. It demanded intelligence, foresight, and the ability to operate under immense pressure. Pandit Ruchiram proved to be adept in these tasks as well. His love for the motherland transcended any single field of activity, whether as a social reformer, a religious preacher, or a silent worker for national integrity. His focus was always the well-being and strength of Bharat. His contributions during the critical period of India's consolidation, including potentially during the Indo-Pak conflicts, though not fully documented in mainstream history, were invaluable. Section 9. An enduring legacy, the flame of patriotism and inspiration. The life of Pandit Ruchiram is a powerful testament to the ideals of the Arya Samaj and the spirit of selfless service. His contributions, though not widely sung, were truly invaluable. From rescuing the vulnerable and upholding Dharma, to spreading Vedic wisdom in distant lands, to silently working for the unity and integrity of India, his every action was guided by profound love for humanity and his motherland. He was a true karma yogi who found fulfillment in action, not in recognition. His life was a living embodiment of courage, conviction, and unwavering dedication. Pandit Ruchiram's story serves as a beacon of inspiration for all of us today. In a world where fame and personal gain often overshadow selfless service, his life reminds us of higher ideals. It teaches us the importance of standing up for what is right, even when it is difficult or dangerous. It shows us that one individual, armed with strong principles and a fearless heart, can indeed make a significant difference. His legacy is not in monuments or grand memorials, but in the enduring impact of his work and the values he lived by. We have a sacred duty to remember and honor such Gumnam Yodda, these unsung heroes of our nation. Their stories must be unearthed and shared with the younger generations. Learning about their struggles and sacrifices can ignite a powerful flame of patriotism and national pride in our hearts. It can inspire us to contribute in our own ways to the progress and welfare of our great nation, Bharat. The challenges our country faces today require the same spirit of dedication and selfless service that Pandit Ruchiram exemplified throughout his life. Let us draw strength from his example. Let us strive to imbibe his courage, his unwavering commitment to truth, and his deep love for Dharma and Desh, nation. The need for national inspiration is constant. By remembering figures like Pandit Ruchiram, we keep alive the spirit of resilience and selfless dedication that has defined the best of our heritage. May his story continue to inspire countless Indians to dedicate their lives to the service of society and the nation, ensuring that the flame of righteousness and patriotism burns brightly for generations to come.